morning, Dr. Lee, board members of TLKY and Buddhistdoor Global, TLKY Canada, Sangha, and also other venerables, fellow columnists. I am Rebecca. For much of my life, I've been an artist, dancer, and professional at the intersection of creativity and spirituality. Since last year, I've had the great privilege of writing a column called Mandala Butterfly. It's a space where we explore the vibrant living tapestry of Buddhist art and culture, how ancient wisdom doesn't just survive, but thrives and soars. It spreads its wings and flutters into our busy daily lives, brightening the modern world and leading us toward a more inspired, compassionate, and wise future. To attain Buddhahood, to become enlightened, is to return to our spiritual home, to all beings' spiritual home. If my column happens to have a spiritual home, a place that truly embodies this dance of tradition and transformation, it is the Kingdom of Bhutan. In this country, tucked away from the rest of the world, deep in the Himalayan mountains, the people and the government are fiercely protective of their Buddhist traditions and peaceful way of life. Many of you may be familiar with this beautiful scenic landmark, which is called Taksang or Tiger's Nest. It was built in 1692, commemorating the location where Padmasambhava, who is credited with the introduction of Buddhism to Bhutan, meditated for 3 years. My own journey to find teachers and a path led me through the high caves of Tibet, the monastic communities of Nepal, and the ancient monasteries of Ladakh. Each was profound, and I maintained strong relationships and communications with the people in these places. I even took refuge with spiritual teachers there. But it was in Bhutan that my searching soul finally exhaled and said, I am home. And my first glimpse of this was unexpected. My first trip was to witness the naked monk dance in Bamtan. Yes, they are fairly naked. Imagine the freezing air, the light of a full moon, and in the darkness, monks performing a sacred dance passed down from Guru Rinpoche himself from the 8th century. They were reenacting the subjugation of demons at Samye Monastery in Tibet. I stood there, shivering and trembling in my jacket, watching them embody a story over 1,200 years old. And I thought to myself, wow, their respect for lineage is not a historical footnote. It is alive, breathing, and dancing right before my eyes. My second trip was a Dakini pilgrimage. I consider myself a devotee of the Dakini beings of Vajrayana Buddhism, in particular Vajrayogini, the supreme Dakini. I followed the path of the yoginis, tracing where it is said that Padmasambhava flew to the tiger's nest on the back of a Dakini. I sought and found a hidden Dharma, a secret Dakini energy in a cave behind the waterfall. And in the crevices of that cave associated with Yeshe Sogel, I had a realization. I finally understood that emptiness is not just a concept in the Mahayana and Vajrayana texts to be intellectually grasped. It is something to be felt in the silent, majestic presence of a place charged with centuries of prayer. It was during these journeys that I eventually took refuge under a series of senior teachers including their holinesses, the present and future J. Campbells. But it was last year that I knelt before His Eminence, Sangye Dorje, the head of the central monastic body of Bhutan, and he accepted me as his disciple. My speech today is dedicated to him and aims to articulate his spiritual vision. This vision, I devotedly believe, is shaping the future of Bhutanese Buddhism and contributing to a renewed Buddhist diffusion for the 21st century. There's a teaching that says the spiritual teacher is like a guide when traveling to an unknown place, like an escort when going to a dangerous place, and like a boatman when crossing a big river. In his practice hall, surrounded by devotees that had been summoned to witness my refuge-taking ceremony, I felt the profound truth of this. I had found my guide, my escort, and my boatman across the river of doubt and onto the other shore of the Dharma and enlightenment. After I took refuge, he spoke to me and told me how wonderful he thought it was that Buddhistdoor Global has been promoting the Dharma in a non-sectarian way for 30 years. For a figure of his stature to recognize this work was a powerful moment for me. It connected my personal path to a global mission. And the mission is what Bhutan exemplifies so brilliantly. According to the 2022 National Population and Housing Census of Bhutan, 84.3% of Bhutanese consider themselves Buddhists. Bhutan remains a shining example of Buddhism that is relevant, strong, and of profound consequence to people's lives. Consider, it takes a monk 3 years and 3 months, according to the Trungpa Rinpoche tradition, to become a Lama in Nepal. And in Bhutan, it takes 9 years of retreat for a monk to become a Lama. In Bhutan, this is the monastic overview. There are 20 Sangha centers, 19 primary and junior high schools, 13 Buddhist colleges, 27 meditation centers, 214 lay monk centers, and 13 nunneries, all supported by the central monastic body of Bhutan, and it is free. My teacher always encouraged me to teach in nunneries during my Bhutan visits. Consider the nunneries I visit every year. I support the women, the Annies, studying Dharma there. These women are not just devotees, they are scholars. In the union of tradition with modernity, they are custodians of the past and architects of the future. They are only allowed to check their messages on their phone once a week. That intentionality is incredible. Furthermore, it was in 2022 that Bhutan formally revived the full ordination lineage for nuns in the Vajrayana tradition, which had been lost for hundreds of years. The canon law or Vinaya that Bhutanese monastic follow is the Mula Savastivada. This wasn't just a ceremonial act, it was a powerful statement. It indicated Bhutan's willingness to be a modern exemplar and to correct historical imbalances within a framework of authentic tradition. A nun said after her ordination, "Before this ordination, I thought the only opportunity would be to pray to be reborn as a monk in order to fulfill my aspirations for enlightenment. But now I'm confident that I can attend to everything in a female body." This principle approach also is the core of Bhutan's philosophy, gross national happiness, of GNH. While the world chases GDP, high stock returns, and all kinds of economic indices, Bhutan asks a different question. Is our society developing in a well-rounded way which ensures inner well-being? What truly matters in life? And are we factoring it into our national strategy? I recall my root guru Sangye Dorje once whispering to me, "There is nothing richer than being content." That simple phrase is the essence of GNH. And this principle is not passive. Under the leadership of His Holiness the 70th J. Campbell, Chukwu Jimmy Choda, this ideal was channeled into the World Peace Monlum Chanmo. This is not a small prayer session. It is the Buddhist constitutional monarchy's representative event, bringing together church and state, or should I say Sangha and state. It is performed for the well-being of all sentient beings and for world peace. It channels the energy of the entire nation towards unity, harmony, and global peace. This is applied Buddhism on a national scale. And now, Bhutan is taking this ancient wisdom and fearlessly stepping into the future. Recently, the Central Monastic Body of Bhutan partnered with Kyoto University to launch BuddhaBot, an AI-powered dialogue system with answers that answers questions about Buddhism. In the next 3 years, 200 monks across the country will use this chatbot. I find this incredible. The same monastic body that preserves 8th century dance forms is employing artificial intelligence to educate on the Dharma. This is not a contradiction in Bhutan. It is a natural progression. This ethos is culminating in one of the most ambitious projects in the country's history and is so far the most unique initiative on the planet, Gelafu Mindfulness City, or GMC. This is gross national happiness in action for the 21st century. It is a socio-economic zone, yes, but conceived as a social-political articulation of Buddhist principles. This is about building a city from the ground up, with mindfulness as its foundation. It is applied Buddhism across society as a whole. And at its spiritual heart, they have broken ground for the Dorden Tashi Gomon Choten, a symbol of this profound aspiration. The vision is to cultivate a spiritual center with world-class Buddhist institutions, a global hub where timeless wisdom can be shared with the world. So from the naked monks dancing under the moon to the nuns reclaiming their spiritual lineage, from the whispers of contentment from a teacher to the prayers of a nation for global peace, and now to an AI Buddha bot and a mindfulness city. Bhutan is showing us that the future of global Buddhism is not about choosing between the ancient and the modern. It is about rooting the future deeply in the wisdom of the past. It is about remembering the stories, feeling the emptiness in the caves, and then building a world where the understanding shapes our technology, our economies, and our very cities. It is in essence the beautiful unfolding dance of the mandala butterfly. Thank you very much, and as they say in Bhutan, Tashi Dele.